Hey guys, it's another video. Driving around town. Not really much to show, but I'm really hungry actually, and not much is open this late. It's almost midnight. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to bring up real fast was, is it just me or were things open later in like the 90s, late 90s, 2000s? Maybe I was just too young that I just kind of forgot about things. Maybe my perception of time was fucked up because I was 10 years old. I wasn't even 10 years old when the 90s ended. But I just wonder, like, things seemed livelier. Things just seemed like more exciting. People were more optimistic. Things stayed open later. Places wanted patronage later. They were excited. It seems like everything's just kind of circling down the spiral, going down the toilet. Some random joker just running around smoking a cigarette. But you look around and it's just like, yeah, like, where are stores used to be, open. I know COVID changed a lot of this, like Walmarts and stuff like that used to be open 24 hours in some cases. Now you're happy to get a 10 p.m. closing, but restaurants, there used to be restaurants that were open till 1 a.m., 24-hour restaurants, stuff like that. And now it just seems like to me, but nothing's open late anymore. Um, I don't know. Like, I do wonder if that has something to do with, the lack of optimism in society these days. Um, it seems like people are less interested in having a good time. I hear there's like an uptick in people who like travel alone and do stuff alone. And that can't be healthy for you. But yeah, I mean, do people have anything that they're excited about in their future? Maybe it was because I was barely, I was in elementary school, but, when the 90s were ending, it just seemed like to me like there was like an optimism in the air. People were, almost every subculture I knew was like, that I was a part of. Again, I mean, I was still a kid and, I was still exploring the world and everything. And it feels like the world's less, people are exploring less, or it's more mapped out or whatever. But it just seemed like every subculture that people were excited about, movies, there were the late 90s was known as a very like existential movie period with, movies like Fight Club, The Matrix, um, you know, things like that. I mean, even movies. Then there were also kind of these epic movies like, Gladiator, I think was 2000, but it fits the bill. Lord of the Rings, the first one was real early 2000s. I'm a little tired. But yeah, I mean, video games, I think it's really interesting how much money retro video games have skyrocketed in the past 15 years or so. I mean, right around since social media got big, you started to see this huge increase, but now it's just gotten out of hand, to the point where I know some people think it's only gotten bad since COVID. I mean, that's just so wrong. It was already getting bad throughout the 2010s. Every game would double, maybe not double, but like a game that you bought for $40, in 2011 was all of a sudden like $75 in 2013, 14. And you're like, what the fuck? And the same thing goes, now, I mean, now everyone thinks it's just like a post-COVID thing. COVID really did change a lot, but a lot of these problems were already happening before it. So yeah, video games. I mean, the late 90s, like no one gave a fuck about retro video games in the late 90s. NES games were going for like you could find them in like a freaking GameStop, and the most valuable ones would be like $5. You would go in there. I remember going in there and you would see Mega Man like 1 through 6, and what else did I see? Obviously Mario titles and stuff like that. Mario titles aren't super rare or anything by any stretch, but like you would see even like some uncommon games like a Maniac Mansion. I remember seeing at a GameStop once, and it was like $4.99 or something. Super Nintendo games, like I mean the Super Nintendo, also would be, games like Super Metroids and Final Fantasies would be dirt cheap. Now they're all like $150. But yeah, I mean, no one gave a fuck about retro. I mean, when your culture is all about retro stuff, I think it's this. I mean, as somebody I'm a nostalgic person, but like, I don't want to be, and it's just there was just so much more optimism 30 years ago. There was new things that were exciting people. Technology hadn't, fully saturated our lives yet. Maybe I'm speaking a little bit about the early 2000s too, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, nobody seems excited about things anymore. The small group of friends I still have, they're always busy. It's like, what are you so fucking busy with? It's like, when do you like go out and have fun? When do you go out and do shit? They never want to like do anything. My friends, it seems like if they're not, I don't know, it's like they have a lot of fear of missing out, but they don't do anything. It's really weird. So yeah, I hope people have things that they're excited about. I don't. I mean, I've traveled alone a lot lately. I don't think that that's healthy. I mean, I know more and more articles will be written every year about how great it is to travel alone, but when you do that, you kind of feel like, man, what am I doing? Like, where am I? Like, I'm not with anybody. It can be exciting at times, but it can also be very sad and depressing. You know, having part of traveling is having people with you to do stuff with and experience with and make memories with. And here I am just, going places by myself. Yeah, I don't have a lot of people watch these videos, but I hope you guys are all doing well, the few people who do. And hopefully your social lives are getting stronger. But yeah, I mean, do things close down really early where you're at now? Is it always, 9 o'clock? Malls are closing at 7. Stores, I mean, well, sometimes stores will just randomly close just because there's no, they're already like closing up shop, and it has nothing, there's nobody coming in, so might as well just close it up. Starting my car up here, getting the air going because it's hot as fuck. Yeah. So I'm in a little bit of a pensive mood here just because of how isolating my life has been for the past especially few weeks. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well and you find things to be excited about. Anyway, take care.